Hey gents, today we're going to dive into my newest pickups from Mack Weldon, but I'm also going to take this time to review their entire line. So we're talking about the AirKnit to the 18-hour jersey, the everyday. We're going to talk about all of their lines because I've now been wearing Mack Weldon for almost 3 or 4 years, and I'm going to dive into each of the brands, what I like about each of the fabrics, and some of my recommendations. We'll also talk about the socks because I wear the socks all the time. So without further ado, we'll jump into the unboxing. Make sure you subscribe to learn about the best menswear on the internet, like brands like Mack Weldon. I'll put links below so you can check them out and everything else, and we'll head over to the unboxing. And look, I'm not crazy. I know I don't need any more underwear in my collection if you watch my other videos, but I had not yet experienced the 18-hour mesh, which I ordered right here. This is the updated 18-hour jersey because I do have several other 18-hour jerseys from the past. I have my AirKnit that I brought out as well, which is one of my favorites. I actually have a lot of 18-hour jersey here. This is the original pair of silver underwear that I ordered, and I actually ran a marathon in this in 2016, and so I have an updated trunk. So let's see, some more 18-hour jersey. This is the old AirKnit, which I still like. I think they still have that in the line somewhere, so I've got 2 of those. 18-hour jersey. This is the AirKnit X Brief. Love the AirKnit X a lot. And so let's dive into each of these and talk about the pros and cons of each of the line. So here's the whole collection, and we can go through each of them. Now, Mack Weldon lets you shop by fabric or by cut. So you can shop by if you just want briefs, trunks, boxer briefs, or boxers, or if you want to shop by fabric, but I'll talk about each of them here. So I personally have moved from boxers several years ago. I was a boxer brief guy for a long time. I then moved to trunks because I realized that a lot of the features that I want of boxer briefs are better in the trunks because you don't have as much fabric that can roll up. But I've now found myself being a big briefs guy, but I'm open to testing all of them. I call myself like the crash test dummy for menswear, and so I'll try whatever's out there. I get the most questions about Mack Weldon by far. I recommend them. I recommend the AirKnit X as my favorite underwear across the entire board, and so I just want to talk about each of the fabric lines because I get a lot of questions about them. All of the models have a very similar waistband, which doesn't roll or anything. It's very sturdy. I like that, and they all have this do not roll up leg design as well. I find that even the boxer briefs, you're still going to be adjusting. There's no boxer brief that I've tried, whether it's Tommy John, Mack Weldon, anything else, they all have a little bit of rolling going on in them, and you're going to find yourself adjusting a little bit. The only way to get around that is to either go with trunks because they are so short, there's not as much material to roll up, which is why I've been moving to trunks overall, or just go straight for the briefs. There is nothing to roll up there, and I've now found myself buying more briefs after liking these so much. And so that is all the underwear. So we'll start with the standard, the staple, the 18-hour jersey. This is, I believe, the most popular in their line. And I think this green and maybe this gray are some of the original pairs that I unboxed several years ago on the channel. And so I've been using these for a very long time. You can see this is definitely one of the original ones. There's a little bit of pilling, but this is like 3+ years. And I do like the 18-hour jersey. They're nice and breathable. I love the waistband across the entire board of Mack Weldon. It's very nice and sturdy without being too flashy and having labels or names on there. The 18-hour jersey does have a fly, which is nice, and there are mesh panels, so you can see a little bit of mesh on the inside of the fly here. There's a mesh panel up here near where your crack would be, and then there's a mesh panel down the bottom for ultimate breathability. The material makeup of this is 47.5% long staple cotton, 47 modal, and then 5% spandex, which gives you very light and very thin underwear as well as long lasting, as you can see from my collection here. And the 18-hour jersey is available in all of the cuts, so you can get boxer briefs, trunks. The time I'm doing this, it's $22 a pair for the briefs and $24 for the boxer briefs, and so that is the 18-hour jersey. Now, if you like the mesh aspect of some of these, the 18-hour mesh is the same material makeup as the 18-hour jersey, except the whole thing is the mesh, which gives you a really breathable one. And this is their newest pair that I just unboxed, so you can see some of the color contrasting on the panels. So the same material, there's no fly on this design, but it is the breathable mesh across the whole thing, same waistband. This was the original AirKnit when I bought this a few years ago, and this has been one of my favorite pairs. However, where all of this changed is when they came out with the AirKnit X, which I'll save for a little bit last. We'll all go into the silver now. So this is my new silver pair. You can see it has the mesh design on the top right here. Does have a fly, and like I mentioned, this is the pair of silver that I bought a few years ago and I wore for a marathon. They haven't held up. I think these wear a little bit faster as you wash them than the 18-hour jersey. However, the big benefit to this is that silver tech in here, which absolutely cuts down on odor. So this is usually my go-to pair when I have long flights, when I go international, or with, you know, New York to San Francisco is a long flight as well. And if I have to wear these for like an entire day or maybe even a second day, this has the antimicrobial fighting. This is 84% Pima cotton, which makes it really soft, but it is 10% XT2 fabric, which gives it that antimicrobial, anti-odor fighting. And the waistband on this one I do like. It's a very similar one over here on the new silver. This is the trunk model. This is the boxer brief model that I have from a few years ago. And so I like these. And at $32, you're only going to have, you know, 1 or 2 pairs in your wardrobe. You're not going to want to make these your everyday boxer. Because of the price, I think I would go with, we're going to talk about the AirKnit X in a minute here, but this is one that you like to have for some of those times you really want something that's going to stand up over a few days. And this is where the line gets a little complicated when doing recommendations, because you have the 18-hour mesh at $28 for a boxer brief, but you also at $28 have the AirKnit X boxer brief, which is my absolute go-to. So not only is it a very breathable mesh, so you can almost see through it here, but it's extremely sturdy, extremely breathable, lightweight, has a much, to me, I really like the waistband on this. It's basically the performance version of the waistband on all of the other models, but I don't know what the material makeup difference is in these, but it's a little bit stretchier, a little bit sturdier, and lighter. It's better. The AirKnit X is a poly-made polyester elastane combination, and I think that's what helps it to be so sturdy while being so thin and breathable. You can see the mesh panel on the top, also down on the bottom. Now this one doesn't have a fly. The fly to me is not a make or break thing. I don't buy boxers based on having flies or not. I don't even buy them based on having the pouch. I've got some pouch underwear I'm gonna be talking about soon. But to me, if I had to choose between any pair of underwear in this entire thing, I'm gonna be running a marathon in a couple of days. I'm running in these because this is my go-to pair, absolutely, even exceeding the silver tech. Having the synthetic or polyester material in here has not caused any like odor buildup or anything else. They wash really well. I always wash on cold and I just line dry for all my underwear no matter what, whether it's modal, cotton, or anything else. And I find that washes enough without damaging it or shrinking or any of that kind of thing. But this is the brief. I love the brief. If I have to run between, I'll probably run in the brief versus the boxer brief. Just because there's less roll up. That's the entire Mack Weldon line. Happy to answer any questions that you may have below. And like I said, I've been wearing these a ton. It's probably the company that I've worn the most over the past few years, because as I need to replace old pairs, I typically go to Mack Weldon and buy those because that's my preferred brand. But happy to answer any questions you might have below. And again, this is all at the time of recording. Mack Weldon changes their offerings a lot on, you know, sometimes you can get the trunks in a certain pair, sometimes you can only get the boxer briefs and others. But as of today, this is what I have in my collection, and that's what I was able to get off the site today. Other things in their line, I do have one of their old merino wool t-shirts, which I like. They now have merino wool long underwear. That's very comfy. I don't have the Ace sweatpant or the hoodie. I do have some of their crew necks, and I love their crews. I like the polo. Basically, you get what you pay for with Mack Weldon. You get high quality premium garments at premium prices, but I think, as you can see in here, you get your money's worth out of them, which is what I found across the board. The polo is good, the crew neck is good. I have a few friends that wear the Ace sweatpants, and that's like the only thing that they want to wear. It's premium stuff at good prices, and I think all worth it in the end. I have an underwear haul coming up with other things like Tanny and Separatech, some other things, but always open to suggestions for companies and products to take a look at. Until next time, gents, this is the Kavalier. Actually, I'll do the socks another day, another video.